Okay, I got this Fender amp and it says Harvard right here, and it's old and it is really dirty and dusty, and my job at a used guitar shop is to clean this stuff up, make it look as new as possible, make sure that it sounds okay, and do my best to get this thing clean, and so that I can hopefully try to resell this thing. Okay, I'm gonna have to vacuum it out. Yeah, so a lot of times you'll find old guitar picks and all kinds of crazy stuff in the back of an amplifier. This one though was didn't see anything in there, so I'm gonna take some Windex, spray it down in the bottom, try to get some of the junk out of here. This, I don't know how cool of an amp this is, but this is a CBS, when CBS owned the company. So let me think, off the top of my head, Leo Fender sold this company in the, let me get my numbers together. He sold this company in the mid to late 60s, right? And he sold them to CBS. He sold this company to CBS. And then in the 1980s, Leo Fender and somehow, I don't know exactly how it happened, but he was able to buy the company back, and he got some investors or something, and he bought the company back. But this amplifier was during the period when CBS owned the company. So looking at the back of the amp, we've got a fuse right there, and we got the Fender logo, and right here it says Fender Musical Instruments, CBS Musical Instruments, a division of CBS Inc., Fullerton, California. It has a speaker on and off button, another fuse, so there's two fuses in this. Actually has a headphone output, and it has a RCA, well, oh, that's missing its nut around that. Maybe we can get something to put on there, but it has a line out. And then a little, what is that, an 8 or a 10-inch speaker with the Fender tag on there. So let me see if I've got a nut that I can put over that. Alright, so this is good. I found one. Just very delicately screw that on there. And it looks like it's going in nicely. Once in a while you'll get an amp and it just cannot be saved. Something about it, you know, it's just a very inexpensive amplifier. And because it's broken and you don't really want to, if you invest money to get it fixed, it's not going to be worth how much it costs to fix it, right? So you take all the little nuts and the wire, and you keep the speaker, and you keep some parts. That's what happened right there. I was lucky I had that. Okay, so I'm just going to take my old toothbrush and try to get in here and just kind of get some of this stuff out of all these little grooves and little, you know, get the Tolex looking good. I don't know how good of a job this is going to do, but we're going to see what happens. It's good to put some kind of an effort into it. But again, this amp was from the CBS era, And so it's got a little collectability about it. Some guys are crazy when it comes to, and I'm one of them, but we're a little bit crazy about amps and guitars and pedals. And so if you can find something that's sort of on the unusual or part of history, then you sort of have to go for it, and you have to kind of cling to it a little bit. This little amp is honestly part of this Fender history, because it was during that era when CBS owned it. Leo Fender was nowhere around. He was over making G&L stuff. And this is right here on the front Fender tag right there. It does say made in USA right here. Can you get in real tight and see that? So hold on, let me scrub that a little bit. Clean that off a little and see. Okay, right there, do you see that where it says made in USA? So it is on the Fender badge, made in USA, so that's kind of cool, because that makes a difference. You know, they've got their Made in Mexico plant is putting out great products right now, and which is cool. That's a great plant down there. But sometimes the old stuff, you know, again, it's got that collectability. Now these knobs, I think some of these will come off of here. Oh yeah, right there. Let me see if I can, probably should maybe try to take these knobs off of here and see if I can clean them really good. That one I see that you just put a straight screwdriver down in there. And so if I can get this off of here, then I can put it in my sink, and I can scrub it with a toothbrush and a bunch of soap, and I can try to get the dirt out of all these little things here. Let me see if this is the screwdriver that does it. Okay, this has been on here for, let's see, probably 35 years, I'm gonna say. But these knobs have been on here, so I might not want to mess with this too much if I can't get it right off the bat. There we go. There's that one. I wonder if there's a, I can't even see if that one has one. I don't see a little screw on any of these other three, so I'll have to leave that on. But for some reason, the master has that one that has the screw holding it on. So I'll snug that tight a little bit. Don't get crazy and over tighten anything, because that's going to create more damage than you want. But when you clean stuff like that, you know, it makes a big difference overall. Now I did plug this amp in and I tested it before I started cleaning, because when you sit here and spend the afternoon cleaning something and then when you plug it in it doesn't work, that's kind of doing things backwards, right? But this is the kind of stuff that I don't mind doing. If you're one of those kind of guys and you don't want to tinker with little things like this, or if it just, you know, you get the impression that it just doesn't matter, then this is not the kind of job for you. But for me, I enjoy doing this kind of little stuff. And I'm the kind of guy that I don't take stuff apart. I put stuff back together. And so I enjoy doing this kind of stuff. And if you're like me, then I would recommend trying to, you know, once you get to a certain age in your life and you're close to retirement, but you're just not there, go ahead and pull the trigger and open yourself a little buy, sell, and trade guitar shop or whatever you want to do. If you're into cameras or, you know, whatever you want to do, go ahead and pull the trigger and open something up and try to do something, because I highly recommend it. I have a lot of fun doing this kind of thing. Now I'm going to spray this from the outside with some electronic spray cleaner, and then turn this a bunch of times. And if these knobs are really dirty, these potentiometers that are in here, if they become really dirty and they're all scratchy, then you pull the chassis, you pull the whole thing out of the enclosure here, and then you can really get in there and spray these out. But I think this thing is pretty quiet, so let me just screw that back down there, and just don't over tighten, because you'll crack this thing. This amp doesn't go down to 0. It starts at 1, and it does not go to 11. There you go. Okay, that's pretty good. That's about as good as I can get it right there. Okay, so another thing that I like to do is just use furniture polish. It's this foamy stuff, and I just kind of spray this up here, and this kind of brings the Tolex back to life a little bit and kind of shines it up a little bit. I don't know what the value of an amp like this. I imagine that it's maybe $100 amp or something, but I could be wrong. It's hard to look some items up on Reverb because people don't sell too many amplifiers on Reverb because they're heavy. Alright, so I'm on Reverb looking at it, and it says a Fender Musical Instruments Harvard 1981 Black Tolex Combo Amp, Rivera Design, Tone Machine Relic. Somebody's asking, okay, they were asking 950, they were asking, this should be on, you know how Fluff does the ridiculous Reverb listings? Somebody's asking $915.99, and they got it still at $595.39. Yeah, this amp has a magnificent tone and still retains its original grill, logo, and Fender blue speaker, made in USA 10-inch speaker with red 3-pronged power plug intact. This 110 power amp packs 20 watts, is 100% original, and is fully functioning. Okay, so this was listed a year ago, and so that's pretty crazy. Audrey's Collection in Fairmont, Pennsylvania. Yeah, I guess the knobs are different. So that one's a little different than the one I'm looking at. Mine actually looks better. Let me see what else is on here. Yeah, so here's another one, 1981, 1982, $199, make an offer. This was listed 4 years ago. For some reason the picture on here is sideways. The knobs are different than what I have. I think mine's better. Mine has the blue label on the back of the speaker. Why did they put everything sideways on there? Well, it was 4 years ago and people were crazy then. But yeah, that's kind of what they're going for on Reverb. Kind of a strange thing. I don't know. I think I'm going to price mine at about 120 bucks. think that's about as good as we're going to get it right now. I'm going to plug it in. Now this cord, I believe they have this red piece on the end here. I think this is the very first year that Fender switched to a three-way plug. So I think it was sometime in the early 80s when they finally added the ground, and maybe it was in the 70s. I don't know for sure. If you guys know, leave it in the comments. But the rumor is that I heard is that this red three-way plug that is grounded was the very first year that they used this red color, and they only used it for 1 year. So leave it in the comments if you guys know anything about that. I got a guitar hanging over here, and we'll plug it in right here, and we'll see if we have anything. A little scratchiness there. The treble seems to work nicely. And then this is the master. Got a little scratchiness in there, but not too bad. And again, you know, the Tolex, it's starting to, it's kind of showing its age. There isn't any big rips in it or anything. That's supposed to be there right there when they cut the little corners like that. But I mean, you could do this once or twice again to try to get some of this out. I'm not really sure what to do to try to clean the grill cloth, but cool little Fender amp, a Harvard. I don't know, maybe it's a $150 amp. It's cool because it's CBS. Is it some sort of old school tube amp that's worth tons of money? No, it's not. It's solid state. But it's cool because again, it's kind of a collector piece, being, you know, CBS. Let me spray some more of this down in here. It's just kind of cool. There's nothing great about it. It might be the built in the day that is it Rivera who worked with Fender? Guys, leave me some comments. Let me know if you got any info on these little amps. Let me know if I was wasting my time cleaning this thing. Maybe I should have just threw it in the garbage, right? Let me know your thoughts. And all you guys, if you're this far into the video, thank you very much for watching. And everybody have a great day.